Hello everyone, my name is Greg. Welcome back to You Got Nerfed, and this is a video review of the Nerf Rival Mirage, a spring-powered magazine-fed blaster in the Rival series. This is a semi-recent release, but excited to get into it. Let's get into it. Let's start out with the blaster overview. Starting up front, there's no end strike barrel lug, even though that the grooves look like that it should. It is not compatible with that because Rival ain't like that, bro. Getting up top, I don't know what this is. This looks like a point of aim thingy, maybe for a sling mount too. I have no idea what this top is, but getting up front is a part of a Rival pick and tinny rail here, along with these on the side and on the bottom here, rails everywhere on there. Getting around to the back here is an internal breach / access door. This blaster is magazine fed, but it can also be internally fed through here. To get into that, you'll need to prime the blaster. Let's get back to there in a second. Getting to right here is a sight that's corresponding with the sight up front. Not really going to help you aim, but it's there. More cosmetic pieces of plastic. This piece right here that says Rival on it is the priming handle. To do that, you pull back, and to fully prime it, you shove it back in place just like the Rival Crowns, and you're ready to fire once. And priming back the blaster unlocks this breech here, which is not fully required to insert the magazine like that, but you can front load in through there. You can load in the magazine and the blaster through here. This is also how you can shoot two at once in there, is have the magazine loaded, so you can have technically like 8+1. Basically, you could shove in one and then 8 more in there, right? And then you'll shove back in and you're ready to fire. This blaster does not have slam fire with it. The prime weight is actually significantly difficult, at least I think, to prime back compared to most other blasters on the market right now. But however, for Rival, it's actually pretty standard. It's a higher powered blaster to shoot. Getting down to the bad, this is a stock, but it fails as a stock. This looks like a subgun, like it's supposed to be shot from the hip, but has this weird thumb hold stock thingy, and this is way too short even for a short dude like me to have. But that's the stock. Bad design basically right here. I don't know why this piece of plastic is here. They could have just taken that off and I'd be fine with it. Scooted this forward and the priming handle forward and it would have been fine. Getting down to the bottom is another Rival rail there. I don't know what you're going to put there, but it's cool that they have it. Getting down to the magwell and all of that stuff, this is magazine fed. To release the magazine, it's located on the left side only, not full ambi, bro. It's right there. You can strike that and pull out the magazine. Magazine insertion is very smooth, and it comes with an 8-round Rival mag. I believe these are compatible with the other old Rival magazines. However, I did want to mention this mag release here is in a weird spot, even for your thumb to push. So I have to kind of break my grip a little bit just to strike it with my middle finger on there, or I strike it with my offhand. I don't like the placement of this mag release at all with it, but it is smooth once it is worked. I just think that's a terrible place for you to put it in there. Maybe a flappy paddle or something could have been nice for doing that. The magazine works really well, no problems with that. There's a sling mat on there, which I find funny, but yeah. And then getting up front, there's nothing else really to manipulate. Getting to the trigger system here, trigger pull is very smooth for Rival. Works really well. The blaster does not have slam fire. And then the last thing located on the right side is a trigger safety. They're applying this into a lot of blasters nowadays, but it works just like any other trigger safety I've gone over. That is the entire overview of the Nerf Rival Mirage. Remember, the magazine that it comes with is 8 rounds, before I forget that. So it's compatible with the 7 and 12 round mags found throughout Rival. Let's get into a firing demo. I'm going to be starting out with the blue Accu rounds. Okay then. Now we're going to feed the magazine through the breech system here. I could only get 6 in before I messed up with the that thing. Yeah. Shots in there. Now I'm going to be shooting some red, like, X-shot rounds that I unboxed when I unboxed basically an X-shot version of a rival blaster. I haven't reviewed the blaster yet, but I had the ammo. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to intentionally be firing 2 at once here. I have the magazine loaded. We're going to prime it back and then do the unjamming button. Do that and jam in another one right into the system like that. I've fired 3 at once, but same concept. Firing analysis and conclusion of the Nerf rival Mirage. Firing was an experience, to say the least. It fired fairly hard, but wildly inconsistently. The problem when you're trying to fire this is you have to pull all the way back and push in and make sure that it had a smooth operation. When I went to intentionally try to feed it 2 at once, I overloaded the system. I did it incorrectly. All I had to do was prime it back, hit the reset button, and then prime it back. The reset button is right here. I forgot to mention that on the overview. So basically, once you prime back the blaster, you're not able to prime it back again, and that will reset it, allowing you to cock back the blaster again. So that's what it does, and that will be how you feed it, because you can chamber 1 round and then undo that and then chamber it again. It'll have a whole lot of tension behind it, but then you're able to fire 2 at once. And I'm surprised that I could actually let you do that. But the operation, aside from that, when I went single, was fairly smooth with it. Before I mention any more of that, let's get into the chrono results. With the blue Accu rounds, I achieved an average velocity of 83 feet per second, and about the same 83 feet per second with the X-shot rounds as well. So my thoughts on this blaster: I personally don't like this blaster. I would rather use a Chronos over this. While it's magazine fed and 8 shots magazine, since you have a 12-round mag in Rival nowadays, there's 8 is a weird in-betweener, especially with the 7-round and 8-round and now a 12-round. I think that there's even more with the Pathfinder mag. I forget how many that holds, but there's that mag out there as well. I just think that this is definitely a weird one for only having 8 shots, as well as a Springer. I'd rather use a Chronos. I would trust it more. The spring power on this just feels very gritty and just that just feels horrible, and all of this. And plus the proportions and ergonomics of this is just, I mean, holding the blaster just like this as like a pistol isn't too bad, but holding it like even an SMG or rifle type of thing is just yikes. This is almost screaming like Mac 10, Mac 11 type blaster, rather than even like a proper SMG or like this. It's more of a machine pistol type of build. But even with that, it's just very weird. I don't like this blaster really at all. And the 83 FPS chrono is technically below what we could expect from rival main primaries, which is 90 to 100 FPS. This is probably more of a secondary, but if it's trying to be a primary, it's shooting pretty soft. But if it's a secondary, we can kind of expect a little less FPS for that. So take that with a grain of salt as you want to. My recommendations for this is basically, if you're looking for a sidearm blaster with a lower capacity than most primary blasters get, like a Kronos, that's definitely more reliable and can be holstered better and carried around with it. If you're looking for that's a decent sidearm option. If you're looking for a primary, even a spring power primary, maybe try the Apollo or the Artemis or something like that that has a decent amount of capacity and a better form factor overall than this thing. I think even something like a Pathfinder is better than this blaster as far as form factor goes with it. Not firing, because I haven't researched that yet, nor have I held my hands onto a Pathfinder, but it looks like that it has better form factor than this thing. I would probably recommend trying to check that out, research and check that out before you purchase this blaster. This one I don't really like. And of my second rival blaster, this is not really standing out to me with the series, or leaving a good impression with the series right now with it. So those are my recommendations. I personally wouldn't recommend this blaster at all for in a battle with it. So check out some of the other options that are out there right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of the rival Mirage, and I'll see you guys in the next one.